Hi there. Yeah, that's about right. Just looking at my camera, hoping that it's adjusted properly. It's Kevin, and today I am going to be doing some game crafting. Just had some last minute audio issues. For some reason, OBS decided to pretend that my mic on my web camera was not there, but it is showing the audio from it as desktop audio. So I'm hoping that I'm actually audible. I need to do a couple of updates and then I will be ready to start I'll be ready to start with the crafting. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm not quite used to this streaming with a camera and streaming something other than games, so bear with me. I'm getting used to this sort of thing. I'll get it eventually. That's done, and that's done. We need to update this thing. Yeah, someday I'll be a real true semi-pro streamer, but not today. Obviously, I'm quite the amateur still. So Laurel, can you hear me? Is my voice? Is my voice coming in over the stream? Yes, good. Looking at my OBS though, the thing that's supposed to tell me what I'm doing, it just looks completely wrong. I don't know what the deal is. So today I am going to be crafting. This is called Piecepack. It's a defined set of pieces that can be used in a lot of different games. There are a number of different suits, and each suit has 6 tiles, 6 coins, a pawn, and 2 dice. This particular version of it also adds a suit die and a star coin. So these are the fronts of the coins, these are the backs of the coins, these are the fronts of the tiles, those are the backs of the tiles, and then these you cut out. And and this also adds a pawn marker, which indicates which suit the pawn is associated with and what the directionality of the pawn is. So now, unlike, here I have what I did last time, unlike these, the loony pyramids, and I'm going to put these away now, somewhere over here, which are 3-dimensional objects. Obviously these tiles and these coins are flat, And so they recommend that you paste them onto either side of something. And they give a number of suggestions, but I have a lot of cardboard laying around. And so the thing I am going to paste them onto both sides of is these big pieces of cardboard that I have. They suggest things like particle board or foam core as well as options, but I don't have a lot of those, but I do have a lot of cardboard. And for the dice, where am I going to put these? I'll just set them back behind me. For the dice, I have a couple of different options. So I bought this at the Dollar Tree, and it's just a generic Yahtzee set. But these dice, I think, are just about the right size for the dice. Unfortunately, they come 5 to a cup, and I only bought one of them. So I'm not going to have more than, I mean, there's 1, 2, 3 dice in this set per suit. One thing I do like about this is that it comes with a dice cup, but we don't need the dice cup right now, so I'm going to set that aside. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So these are just the perfect size, but it's 5 for $1. These, on the other hand, I also bought at, I think some of these I bought at the Dollar Tree, and I'm not sure where I got the other ones. But these come, I believe it's 10 for $1. But they're a little big. I don't think they're terrible sized for this, but they are a little bigger. And obviously, you can tell they're a little bigger than these, so they're not quite as perfect. These are more standard sized dice. These are just a little under standard size. And as I said, there's a pawn marker here, and I haven't decided yet what kind of pawn. Oh, this is also a pawn itself, but these, they are supposed to wrap around some sort of a pawn, and I bought this at the Dollar Tree as well, and it comes with a bunch of different colored pawns for Chinese checkers. And I bought this, yes, once again at the Dollar Tree. I'm gonna have to, it's got some tape keeping it closed, so hopefully that's enough. Yeah, so haven't looked at this particular chess set before, but you can see it's got a lot of nice big pawns that we can use in other games. We're not going to need all 8 of those, but I really, I think that's a great bargain. You get a pretty crummy chessboard, but then a full set of chess pieces, and they're not small. I mean, that's a reasonably decent sized king and queen, and those pawns are nice sized as well, for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And no, I am not actually sponsored by Dollar Tree. I just really like Dollar Tree. You can ask Laurel and she will tell you, yes, Kevin really likes the Dollar Tree. Oh, I need to set this aside as well. For right now, at least. Get that out of the way. Okay, so we're going to start by cutting all of this out, and then we are going to paste. We're going to use the glue stick for attaching paper to cardboard, and we're going to use this. It's not, I mean, it's Super Glue brand, but it's not actually super glue. It is more of a, like a rubber cement. Hopefully it will do the job of attaching these to dice. And so let me get this out of the way as well. Kevin's favorite thing, sleep, Dollar Tree. I mean, cute animals in baseball and his wife also might make the list, but sleep and Dollar Tree are at the top. No, honey, I really do think you're at the top. And then sleep, and then Dollar Tree, and then, okay, maybe cute animals above Dollar Tree. But so we got some nice cardboard here as a base so that we can do some cutting. We have our super cheap utility knife. And in case you're wondering, yes, this adhesive did come from the Dollar Tree. This knife came from the Dollar Tree. The glue stick came from the Dollar Tree. I don't think I bought these toothpicks at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to use these later to do glue spreading. Since spreading with your... Oh, okay, you must like me. Yes, honey, I do like you. But you can buy toothpicks at the Dollar Tree as well. Probably a box about that size. Not everything comes from the Dollar Tree, but it should. For instance, this paper does not come from the Dollar Tree. And the giant pieces of cardboard I didn't get from the Dollar Tree. I wonder if they would be willing to just give me their used boxes. They probably have some use for the boxes, but I really have enough cardboard already, so I don't need to be buying anymore. I'm a little bit intimidated by the coins, actually. Cutting in a curve like that is going to be difficult, so I think what I am going to start on, I'm going to cut out the tiles, then separate them, and then do some more fine work on them. So I'm going to leave those circles, the coins, for later. All right, and we are just going to hack away at first because we're not actually following any lines. We will reserve fine work, as I said, for later. Yeah, the cardboard is to preserve this white base I have for a stage when I'm doing game demonstrations. I've got a few YouTube videos that I do game demonstrations. The white makes for a nice contrast. So we will take this and we will put it aside for right now, and we will look at it later. Good evening. What exactly are you doing there, if I may ask? Building a game. So what this is called is Piecepack. It's a set of pieces that can be used in a bunch of different games. It's got tiles, coins, dice, a pawn, another special coin, and a pawn indicator. And people have built a whole bunch of different games out of these pieces. And yes, I'm doing this is a game crafting. It's a print and play game crafting stream. So yes, that's what I'm doing. And welcome to the stream. Is that a silent G or is it Gnorian? Is it Norian or Gnorian? I'm not sure. It's a hard G, so Gnorian? Is that right? Or Gnorian? No, Gnorian is a soft G. All right, so next. Hard and angry. Okay. So we are separating the fronts and the backs. Hopefully we will not be ruining anything, but that's the thing with a print and play. If you screw something up, just print another page and you can go at it again. And since I'm getting into the more fine work, on with the cheaters again. So that I can actually see what I'm doing. looking at this, the lines look like they are supposed to remain. Usually when it's a very thick, dark line like that, it's supposed to stay there. So you're supposed to cut on the outside of that line and not cut on the line itself, which is a little bit of a challenge. I think actually I'm going to split these away. As you can see, not the best person at cutting, which it's kind of weird that I decided to take up print and play game crafting as a hobby. I'm really bad at cutting with scissors. I think I mentioned in my last game crafting stream, Christmas gift wrapping is kind of a nightmare for me. I hate gift wrapping just because I'm terrible at cutting. Oh, that was very close. Alright. I think I actually cut too deep on that one. Oh well, I'll survive. Alright, now my first attempt at close cutting. I'm a little better cutting with like a utility knife than I am cutting with, oh, I should probably turn off alerts on my phone. Oh, it's somebody notifying people that I started my stream. Alright, alarms only. There we go. And if you need soothing audio and or video stream in the background, you could listen to my husband doing arts and crafts, or putting together game pieces. Thank you for the retweet, Laurel, by the way, of my Go Live tweet. Okay. Yes, this is supposed to be soothing and relaxing. Listen to the sound of my voice. I was doing a little extra soothe there, but all right. Oh, that was not good. Yeah, the thing about game crafting that I did never think about before I started doing game crafting is, if you make a mistake of, let's say, a 72nd of an inch, so a 1-point mistake, that's a huge mistake. And you can see that is a little bit in. Now to get the edge off these. I mean, just think of like a deck of cards. You would notice if a card was just an extremely small difference in length from all the other cards. So precision is super important. Well, which is why I have my glasses on, because my eyes are not what they used to be. I mean, maybe when I was 20, I could have done this without glasses. I had some pretty good close-up vision. But over the last, 37 years or whatever, my vision has not improved and has deteriorated a little bit. Okay. This is not cooperating. Come on. But yeah, I mean, this little bit of edge here, I don't know what that is, a 1/16 of an inch maybe, an 1/8 of an inch possibly, of extras here. But if I'd left that on, it would have been extremely noticeable. So, oh, that was a bad cut. Oh, don't want that cord getting in my way. Is my camera crooked somehow? I thought I adjusted that earlier, but it looks like it's gone crooked a little bit. Okay, noted on the list to never try myself because of clumsiness. Game crafting. I turned off the heat AC so it won't make loud noises. Thank you, Laurel. Yes, game crafting, if you're super clumsy, I mean, you're using a very sharp knife, and obviously, whenever you're using a sharp knife, you could do some serious damage to yourself. So, hand-eye coordination is kind of important. Come on. I cut you. Wow, that is ugly. That's not too much better. Well, nothing has to be perfect. I just kind of wish it was good enough that you didn't notice the flaws. I'm a very picky person about some things, and my game pieces are one of them. So, alright. I guess I'm going to have to live with that. It's not great, but it's usable. Alright, so, on to number 5. Yeah, you can see I've got my fingers reasonably close to this very sharp knife. So if I were to slip badly at some point, something bad could happen. Fortunately, I'm not that clumsy. I'm kind of clumsy. I was talking about this earlier with Laurel, how because I am somewhat clumsy, I always seem to have a scab or a scrape or something like that. So I am not the most coordinated person in the world, and it just takes a little bit of extra care. You need to be very careful. You might notice that I'm cutting very slowly right now. That is terrible. Wow, I do not like that at all. But as I said, if it turns out that I don't like it so much that I can't stand it, that's decided to fall into my workspace. No. I can just, it's print and play. It's a 110-pound cardstock that I'm printing on for durability. And just printed with a laser printer, so I can just print it again. The PDF files, I posted a link to the Piecepack page, and off of the Piecepack page there are several free, yeah, that's not very good either, free PDF files for printing Piecepack pieces. So you can just go there. Is this already cut? That is already cut. Not well, but it is cut. So it's simply a matter of going. I've already downloaded them, but if I hadn't saved them, going, re-downloading them, and reprinting them, and then just doing this again until I get it right. And I'm probably pickier than most people are. I'm looking at this and going, wow, I'm doing a terrible job. And most people would say, well, it's usable, that's good enough. You got the pieces for a game. You don't really care if they're slightly irregular by a 1/16 of an inch. But I care. I would like each and every one of them to be shaped identically and the way they are intended to be shaped. My spouse told me to never use the glue gun again. I glued myself with that hot stuff. Was not pretty. Yeah, I can imagine that was not fun. All right, gotta clear the knife. All right. And I do not know why this is like that, but we're going to cut it off. Well, acceptable. Not good, but acceptable. All right, now a couple more. Oh, still more crud on my knife. Let's see if I can do better. I have several pages. There are different suits. This is the Hearts suit, as you could probably tell. And different games need different numbers of suits. So, if my first attempt is bad, but my second through fifth attempt are great, well, then we'll just reprint the bad one and redo it. Now, I mentioned, and I showed at the beginning, the Looney Pyramids that I did in my last game crafting stream. And in fact, there are some Piecepack games that use Looney Pyramids as well. So they have setups to print out Looney Pyramids with the various Piecepack suits. But I am not going to be doing those today. I am just going to be doing these things. Oh yay, my phone's ringing. Fortunately, the phone down here has been silenced, so you are probably not hearing it. Oh, I think I only heard one ring. I'm not sure what that means. I don't think my wife got that phone that fast. Alright, so yes, the numbers here are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And those are the standard numbers for the Piecepack tiles. Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually used a hot glue gun before, and I won't be using hot glue on this, though the dice would probably be better with hot glue. And we do own a hot glue gun. It's somewhere in the house, I think in my wife's office. But yeah, I don't trust myself with that. So that's why I'm using the rubber cement instead. And I'm hoping that's good enough to keep the paper on these plastic dice all right. I think I'm hearing my wife, so maybe she did get it. Might be her parents calling to talk about the Twins game. I think that just finished. And hopefully with a Twins win. Yeah, that is not a good edge. That is a bad edge. But as I said, if I get one wrong and all the rest right, that's a win. Yeah, I've never tried Piecepack before. I had before my Looney Pyramids stream, which was my previous game crafting stream. I had done, well, not Looney Pyramids from scratch, but they were pre-perforated and pre-scored Looney Pyramids. They were the paper pyramids that Looney Labs sold many, many years ago, and I had done those. So I had a little bit of an idea of what I was in for on those. But these, I have never done any of these Piecepack pieces before, so and I was tempted to use I have a rolling cutter that my wife's mother gave to us because she didn't need it anymore. I was tempted to use that on stuff like this, the straight stuff, but then I'd be getting to the curved stuff, and it's totally useless. Oh wow, that's a really bad cut. Totally useless for those things, and I thought, well, might as well just break out the knife, start cutting. How bad is this? Not terrible. Just do the whole thing with the knife. Maybe that was a mistake, because I think cutting with the rolling cutter, I would be doing a little bit better on these straight cuts than I am doing. All sorts of stuff here. Sorry, I'm just looking at my stream. That's not showing me anything. How annoying. Okay, now on to number 4. And I'm hoping that as I go along, I learn from my mistakes, as I'm making many mistakes here, and do better. That's kind of one of my life mottos, is learn from your mistakes and do better. You'll make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's what you do with them that's important. And that's not too good, but whatever. Because I think when I was doing the Looney Pyramids, I did do a little better as I went along. So hopefully that same process of improvement will happen here. Yeah, you can see that just flat pieces of paper like this, they're not easy to pick up. And that's that plus giving it a little bit of heft and durability are reasons why not just gluing the two pieces of paper together, why I'm not just gluing the two pieces of paper together and instead planning on gluing the two sides of it to a piece of cardboard. And with my wife on the phone, I could probably say all sorts of things about her. And she'd be coming back and be none the wiser. Except I think she probably has the stream on her laptop somewhere that she might hear, so I should probably not say anything that would get me in trouble. Oh, come on. Did I already cut myself? Wow. I don't know, that looks old. It's still, the blood is still bright though. That's a little worrisome. I didn't even notice that. But it doesn't seem to be actually bleeding right now. So maybe that was from something earlier. Yes. But if you want to see a lot of blood, I did a stream of doom last night. That's a very bloody game. Lots of explosion. Wow, that's bad. I am not happy with that cut. And I want to cut a little bit more off. Oh, yeah, the amount I want to cut off of here is so minuscule. Maybe just abrading it is better. Just scratching away at it. Yeah, you can see how the difference between getting it right and getting it wrong is, I mean, that's wrong. There's a little bit of white there. I want to get rid of that white, but it's such a small amount, it's difficult to do that and not cut into the black. We will live with that. No mistakes. Happy little accidents, yes. This is not a Bob Ross stream, though. You should not talk badly about my wife. I wasn't going to say anything bad about her. That was not the way I was going. I was, you know. Anyway, it's not important. I was not going to say anything bad about my wife. Maybe something that would get me in trouble, but not really. I was just joking. All right. Two more of this side, and then we go on to the back side of the tiles. Yeah, a lot of these print and play things will have edges that are not supposed to be there when you're done cutting. They're very, very thin, like gray lines. And those are extremely difficult to cut properly, but those you really can tell if you've got them right versus you've got them wrong. If you've got them right, once you've made your cut, there should be no line left at all. So it's like a line that, I keep coming back to this number, but 1/72 of an inch thick. Oh, that's not what I wanted. And so you just basically destroy the line with your cut. Yeah. These, personally, I think this kind of thing is even harder, because what you're supposed to do is cut right up to the edge of the line. And starting to get too many cut marks in the cardboard base, but so the guide of exactly where you're supposed to cut isn't nearly as defined. The idea is you don't have any of this white left, but you don't cut into the black at all. And that seems harder to me. More difficult as a design for the crafter, the person who's crafting it. Obviously, the person who's designing it. But I've seen that in a number of things where the person who's designing it doesn't, I don't know if they quite understand what is going on for the person who's doing the crafting. Or maybe they just don't have much sympathy for us, and they think, well, if you make a mistake, just do it again. Which, that's a reasonable thing. I said that. But I'd rather have it be a little easier. Now, with the coins, for instance, I have a much harder time cutting to a curve, to a very precise curve, than I do cutting to a line. So for me, a square is a lot easier to cut out than a circle. And I know there are like computer tools that do cutting. You could use those, or instead of doing print and play, you could do 3D print of your game pieces. I do have a 3D printer that I've never set up, but I could set that up and just print out all this kind of stuff. But where's the fun in that? I want to have the accomplishment of doing it myself. That looks a little better than some of my previous attempts. Maybe I'm getting a little better. Probably not. I'm sure I will make more mistakes as time goes on. I don't think I've learned. Whoa, yeah, for instance, there I cut well into the black. Stop that. Good evening, mister. How are you doing this evening? Maybe you could turn the autofocus of your webcam off for crafting streams. Sometimes it gets blurry for a few seconds. Wow, and if I knew how to do that, yeah. Sorry about that. Hey, was he talking badly about me while I had the stream muted? Was on the phone. No, honey, I was not talking badly about you at all. Oh, and Shuma, thank you for hosting my stream. I was focused on... No, he did not dare to say anything about you. That's right. Nothing bad, I swear. I will research how to turn off the autofocus on this thing. Oh, and it keeps doing this, where it tilts oddly. It's very annoying to me. Sorry about this, guys. And that didn't fix anything. All right, well. Anyway, so, yeah. I am definitely not a pro streamer yet. I'm not even a good amateur streamer yet. So, that is a thing that I will look into. Well, I'm doing okay this evening, mister. How are you doing? Oh, by the way, Laurel, did the Twins win? They were well on their way to winning when I last saw, so I'm hoping that they didn't collapse. And are your parents going to the game tomorrow with us? The Twins won. That was your dad on the phone to talk about the Twins, among other things. Depends on how my dad's sciatica is. All right. Well, hopefully his sciatica is better tomorrow. I imagine that there is some way to set that, but I haven't actually done any adjustment to that web camera at all, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's some software that I need to load up to be able to shut that off, or if that's something. I don't know if it's possible that it's a setting that I can do in OBS, but I don't know for sure. I'm still a total noob when it comes to OBS. No, stop doing that. Stupid knife. There. But if there, yeah, I mean, I'm also having weird audio issues with OBS though, so I don't know. Where it's not showing the microphone on the webcam as active, but I'm getting the webcam's audio via desktop audio for some reason. So I had set it up so that I could mute the mic on the webcam. He has PT tomorrow. We'll see how he is after that. Was a little better today. Are you using that webcam I gave you for Christmas? Yes, I am. It's the only webcam I have, so it's the one I am using. Now, I think I might have another web camera stuck away somewhere, but it's very, very old. Like a decade or more old. Yeah, they sell Piecepack sets made of wood. They cost like $30 a set. They're obviously a lot nicer than this. I think they, people who sell them have machines that just cut and machine out the pieces from plywood, I think. So I could have gone the super expensive $30 route, or I can just spend a little time carefully cutting pieces of paper, pieces of cardboard, come up with a set of my own. Something that I can say that I did. And this first attempt, well, maybe not great, but usable. And if maybe I make another set, it's better. Something I can be proud of. Yeah, even the printing on this, the blacks are not nearly as deep as I would like. I think we might need to get a new toner cartridge for our printer. Before this, when I was doing, when I wasn't doing streams, but I was doing gameplay videos for YouTube, I had a different camera I was using, and it had this same problem where it wasn't sure what it was supposed to be focusing on. It'll focus on this base, and then sometimes it'll focus on my hands, and obviously I just want the focus to stay. I don't want it to be moving around and making everything all blurry. So that's why I went with the web camera, because I thought maybe it would not have that problem, but apparently it still has the same problem. That was an Android camera. Wasn't specifically for web stuff. It's the same camera that I use when I just go out and take pictures, but it does have a video mode. I don't think there's any way to stream with that camera though. So as soon as we get these tiles done, I am going to get a piece of cardboard, the back sides of the tiles done. I'm going to get a piece of cardboard, and we're going to see if we can make some actual two-sided tiles. Wow, that was a bad cut. Also, I did not cut all the way through, apparently. Yeah, I maybe could have labeled this as another test stream, but I don't know. Live and learn. Do better next time. Maybe that's going to be my theme. The theme of my life. Screwed up the first time. Figure out what you did wrong. Fix it. Do better the next time. That's not a part of the cardboard I want to be cutting on anymore. That's all slashed up. All right. So I saw a host from Shuma. I'm not sure if she is actually watching, but if you are, welcome in Shuma, and thank you very much. I think I said this already. Thank you very much for the host. I hope I am not boring the snot out of people. That's what I worried about the most my last game crafting stream. That other people would find this way too boring. I mean, I like watching crafting streams. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else doing a game crafting stream, though. And the number of, there's a huge number of print and play games out there. I was just astonished. I was on BoardGameGeek.com and doing searches, and there are dozens and dozens of these games, and most of them are not disinvolved. They're anywhere from print out the piece of paper and then use it, to slightly more complicated, print out the piece of paper and cut out 9 cards, and that's that plus the instructions are the whole game. Wow, that's very uneven. To things like this, or even more complicated. Some of the print and play games, you're printing out dozens of sheets of paper and cutting out all sorts of tiny little bits. Now, if you think this is involved, man, those are incredibly involved. Need to take a moment here. All right, back to this. Okie dokie. Yeah, it's almost like, I mean, it really isn't, but it's almost like ASMR, I would think. Listening to me cut pieces of paper. It's a little bit like cutting some of the, sand cutting or other Nice laid back chill streams. Oh, I didn't really want to cut that. No. Well, that didn't make it better, it made it worse. Alright. Yeah, once again, it's, what is that, a 1/16 of an inch of white stuff that I'm trying to cut off, yet not cut into the black at all. It's so fiddly. Fiddly bits. But if I ever get it just perfect, I will be so happy. This is not that. Yeah, that is not perfect, obviously. It's sticking up. It is white where I don't want white. All right, 3 done, 3 to go. And in addition to the soothing nature of hearing me cut paper, hopefully people are enjoying listening to my soothing voice. I can imagine some people are like, ugh, that? I don't want to listen to that voice. But I have been told by more than one person that I have a pleasant speaking voice, so hopefully it's not annoying people too much to listen to me yammer on and on and on about what I'm doing. Yeah, see that? There's a little, like a hair width of extra white there that I don't want there and is bugging me. Yeah, I don't really think I'm OCD, but sometimes very small things like that will bug me. It's not an anxiety thing as much as it is just a desire for perfection. Well, that's not terrible. But as you can see, there's still a little bit of white there that I would like there not to be. Unfortunately, cutting off that tiny amount of paper is really difficult. Well, okay, that was too far one way and then it went too far the other way. Great. So getting me to be satisfied with my own work is very difficult. Whenever I do anything artistic, I'm my own harshest judge. I often will just throw it away, destroy it, whatever. I seem to be a little bit more tolerant of myself when I'm doing photography because, I don't know, Yeah, I don't know. I just seem a little less judgmental when I'm looking at a photograph than when I'm looking at. I've tried drawing and painting before and never been satisfied with any of my results. I've tried jewelry making just very briefly a few times. Nothing I ever did was something that I was willing to let exist in the world. This, on the other hand, game crafting is more utilitarian. It's not, it's more, as the word implies, it's crafting more than art. So if it's usable, it's acceptable to me. I won't just trash something as long as it's usable. But I'm still not happy with it. Yes, at the rate I am going, I am guessing that I'm going to do one suit, so this heart suit today, and then be done. Looks like I'm a little over an hour into this stream. I need to find a place on the paper that isn't all cut up already. And so, yeah, I'll probably just do the hearts today. And maybe in a future stream I will do other suits. I know I'm going to go back to doing more of those loony pyramids, because I only did 2 colors, just the white and the orange. And that's not enough. I want enough to play a game with the ones that I've created. Yeah, the pyramids, the nice thing about those was that if I was a little irregular with the cutting, it's not that big a deal. As long as they folded into the proper shape, and they can be if the bottoms are badly cut, you can kind of adjust them by working on them a little. These, any mistake you make is probably going to be noticeable, or any mistake I make, since I'm the one crafting them right now, it's probably going to be noticeable. I will certainly notice them, and I do have friends who are just as picky as I am with their game pieces and will mention, hey, that edge, that doesn't look too good. Right there. Look at that white. Right there. Yeah, see that? Oh, well, that's gone now, but it's still a kind of uneven edge. So I can look forward to that if I ever bring these pieces out into the world. I'm sure Laurel will have no idea who I'm talking about. Ooh. All right. Yeah, I don't know if you can see. Let's see, which side was that on? Oh, not quite as visible as I thought it was, but there was a little bit of black, like right there. And then, yes, once again, we have a little bit of white, but so little that you can't really cut it off. And this edge is somewhat rough. Both of these edges are somewhat rough. I might be getting a little better as time goes on, but I have a ways to go yet. Yeah, I was playing Doom on stream last night, and that's the same sort of thing. It's like First time I went in on this battle, terrible. Just immediately died. Next time, well, I got a little further. Next time, I made some mistakes, and it felt like I got further, but what I think I did was I just screwed it up more. And as the night went on, I mean, I only played for an hour, but I think I was figuring things out, but it's just so frustrating when it's the same battle over and over and over again. And you're not hitting a checkpoint because you're not finishing even this one battle. So I only streamed for an hour last night, but I do think I got better in that one battle as time went on. I was figuring it out. Just like I'm trying to figure this out. What is the best way to cut these so you don't cut into the black at all, but you get all of that white off? And I bet there are people who are really good at that. I am not one of them. That's not that bad of an edge, but it's not straight. And once again, there's all this little bits of white that is so hard to cut off. Oh, and then I just cut into the black. A little frustrating. Yeah, I never know when I do my streams what people will like. So what I do is I stream things that I like. That's my philosophy, and I like a lot of different kinds of things, so I stream a lot of different kinds of stuff. And this is just one of the many different kinds of things that I like. When it comes to games, I mean, I've got my Tuesday night stream is a role-playing stream with my weekly role-playing group that I'm the game master for. And Wednesdays now is, it used to be Lego Harry Potter, but I got kind of frustrated with that. And now I'm streaming Realm of the Mad God on Wednesdays. Thursday I've been streaming Brawlhalla. Friday I've been doing horror streams, and I'm working on Layers of Fear right now. Saturday night is Doom, and Sundays this. Game crafting and okay, which of these pieces of cardboard do I want to start with? Game crafting and eventually gameplay. So I have all sorts of pieces of cardboard, and I'm looking for one that is somewhat appropriate. Actually, I think I am going to take a very brief break before I get into the cutting of the cardboard, and I will be right back.